We live in such a weird time.
Have you talked to these people? They don't see you as human. They think that non-whites are less human than white people.
That's fine. You know why? Because I'm gonna be assimilated. My children will be assimilated.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Where some of the most prominent white supremacists online aren't even white. And we're seeing so much of this because of the rise of these non-white Nazi influencers.
I like Hitler. I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Nigga, Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler.
I think one of the most lied about figures in history. I definitely think by far one of the most lied about figures in history.
You know, I'm kind of thinking we should bring the Nazi salute back.
Which is why I think it's important to talk about what's going on. Because people like Nick Fuentes, Myron, Sneeko are actually influencing a younger generation of non-white people to not only support white supremacy and systematic oppression, but in a lot of cases, we see these people become white supremacists themselves, which as a concept is just insane to me.
Explain your reasoning. I really want to know why you think like this.
Because you're literally running cover for a fucking white supremacist movement that sees you as subhuman, and you're cheerleading them.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Are you white?
Revolution,
Are you white?
this revolution will not go
Hold on.
anywhere.
You don't sound like you're white. Are you white?
Yes.
No, you're not. You're literally a
Yes.
cuck. You're literally a fucking cuck. You're a non-white
Good.
person, part of a
Good.
white supremacist movement because you're a
Good.
fucking cuck. Literal
Good.
cuckold.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm Hispanic, Latino.
Okay.
If you're part of a movement where you can't even admit your ethnicity, besides all the stuff already stated, white supremacy is a hate movement. To align yourself with the movement like that and have to hide your ethnicity or not feel comfortable enough to admit that you're Latino is crazy to me. Because just like we know, that means that they know that the people in their movement and their group don't even like them. So they literally have to hide their identities to be somewhere that they're not welcome.
Okay, exactly.
tell
So
you
you're
right
a
now.
cuck. There you go. Cuckold. Standard
you
bog
go.
standard cuckold.
Explain your reasoning. I really want to know why you think like this.
Because you're literally running cover for a fucking white supremacist movement that sees you as subhuman, and you're cheerleading them.
Subhuman. How so?
Because they say it all the time. They literally think anybody that is not a white Christian nationalist is subhuman, beneath them, low IQ, all of the things that they say. But you know, with things like this, just like anybody of color that supports MAGA, they think these racists are referring to everybody but them. They think the racist or sexist policies that this administration puts into effect will affect everybody but them.
Hispanics aren't oppressed and Asians aren't oppressed and they don't feel oppressed and they don't feel kinship with blacks. They feel kinship with whites. Hispanics want to work hard. They want to drink their Coronas. They want to eat their fucking tacos and that's it. They're pretty complacent. Now, I don't want the country to become Mexico.
There's this weird delusion that all of these people fall under after their indoctrination. That if white supremacists had their way, if they were able to turn America into a white Christian nationalist country only, if you're a Muslim or any other religion, you're out of the country. If you're a person of color, you're out of the country, unless you stay here under them with no rights and upward mobility. If all of these people got their way, please believe MAGA and the white supremacists are going to do the exact same thing to their non-white supporters.
Myron, you were in MySpace the other day, and I said, you know, you're doing a great job calling it these, but, you know, if we take this country back, we want it for white folks, and would you go home? And you said, I was born here, and I'm not going anywhere. And this is where I think the problem is with working with non-whites, is that once you think you help us, that you're just going to stay in our country. Do you still stand with that answer?
Bro, you look, man, I know you're trying to get a clippable moment here for your...
No, it's the truth, man. This is the issue with whites working with non-whites.
About a problem. We're over here talking about a problem, then you bring it right back into, you know, this whole white thing. Like, dude, shut the fuck up.
This whole white thing is what built this country, Myron.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Hey, you fucking sand.
Because the purpose of modern day white supremacy, especially as stuff we see online these days, is very clear. They actually hate anyone that isn't white and see all of us as below them, low IQ, subservient.
How so?
Have you talked to these people? They don't see you as human. They think that non-whites are less human than white people.
They can think that all they want,
Okay,
but
and you're part of their army, you fucking bitch. You're a literal cuck. Like, what can I tell you?
that's fine. That's fine. You know why? Because I'm gonna be assimilated. My children will be assimilated.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Why would you even want that? To want for yourself, your future kids, your entire culture to be assimilated means you want it to be non-existent. You're willing to give up everything that makes you you, that makes your culture what it is, to assimilate to whiteness and white supremacy. Which is just sad that people really think like this. Either they think they're exempt from the hatred of white supremacists, or they understand that they're working with a group that hates them, and they're still willing to be useful idiots, even abandoning themselves or their culture. If anything, what anybody everybody should want when it comes to cultures mixing for your own culture is acculturation, which is like sharing the ideas and practices of your culture, but never losing it, maintaining exactly who you are, which would not be able to happen under a white Christian nationalist, white supremacist, all MAGA country.
Just like the Italians,
This
just
is
like the Irish.
crazy, bro.
It's crazy to actually hear a Latino person say it, because historically what's happened is immigrants come to this country, like he mentioned the Irish, they were looked down on by white people who were already in this country. They weren't even considered white until they gravitated toward whiteness, did whatever they needed to do to be considered white. And that's what he's saying the Latino community wants to do.
One of the biggest disappointments that came out from the election and Kamala Harris losing the election is me discovering how many Latinos not only voted for that man, but actively voted against our community and actively spoke ill will of immigrants when so many of them are descendants of immigrants themselves, and how so much of this is tied to the need to feel close to whiteness.
Which would a lot of black Americans feel anyway, that we're the only people of color that are perfectly fine being people of color, and we don't want to gravitate toward whiteness. We want our communities to be safe, flourishing, and left alone for the most part.
Oh, you're literally a
crazy?
cuckold. You have no dignity at all.
Dignity? What dignity?
Are you gonna let them fuck your wife?
Would you?
I'm not a cuck like you, so no. I'm asking you.
Would
You're
you?
a cuck.
You're honestly, I think you're just projecting at that point.
No, you're literally a brown white nationalist. That's like the lowest
Brown?
thing you could possibly be.
If anything, white people here need Hispanics and Latinos more.
White people need Latinos more than anybody else. What does that statement even mean? Is he referring to the Republican voting bloc? Like they need the Latino support? What is... I don't even know what that statement means. Is he talking about from a subservient perspective? If they need their help with like the manual labor of businesses, farms, and that type of stuff? Like, I don't know what he's referring to.
White people here need Hispanics and Latinos more
You are
than
a
anyone
brown
else.
white
Do you want to know why?
supremacist. You are
Half-
literally
more
the
than half of
Latino
our
Uncle
population-
Ruckus. What
or-
the fuck are you
all of our
talking about?
population is more than half white,
Literal
at least,
Latino
or
Uncle
50%
Ruckus.
white.
This is crazy.
Our religion is similar, Christianity.
Bro,
These are real life justifications of why some Latinos really gravitated toward Trump. Because let's not forget, Latinos for Trump played a major role in Trump being reelected. Hispanic voters sent Trump back to power. Now some are souring. Too late. When Trump pulled off a decisive electoral victory in 2024, he did so with the backing of millions of Latino voters, hoping to propel him over the finish line. That election saw Trump receive a higher percentage of the Latino vote than any other Republican in history, with 46%.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump.
Now that ICE is harassing, detaining, and deporting them, they regret it.
Do I regret voting for Donald Trump? 100,000 times yes. The mass deportation that is happening, I mean, the unconstitutional rights that are happening, all of the AI bills that are being signed right now, I mean, I can go on and on. The banning of different countries from coming into America, that was my last straw. And I think a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump also say the same thing.
I have to say, I'm not going to lie. It absolutely baffles me that you voted for someone and you never looked at his first term. If you did look into his first term before voting for him, you would see that all the things that you were complaining about, he enacted in his first term.
I'm a Latina who voted for Trump, and I am so sorry. Like, this is some real bullshit going on. I didn't know I was gonna go through all of this.
To the Latinos that voted for him, you will never, and I repeat, never be white. You will never be accepted as one of them, and you certainly are not exempt from the racism that is this racist-ass regime.
Bro, honestly, all the white people in Nick Fuentes' movement were in the space already. You have Beardson, you have this Grendel from Beowulf, hideous, whatever. And then everyone else is just like this guy, brown white nationalists. Every single one of his other viewers and people in the movement are literally just like this guy.
It's so crazy to think about. There's so many people online would be regurgitating white supremacist rhetoric or arguing with people defending white supremacy and saying whatever racist shit they say all over X. Meanwhile, they're not even white. Again, just going back to what modern day white supremacy is and what they're all up in arms about is this great replacement theory where they feel like they're being phased out.
The great replacement theory. Yeah, a theory. Okay. It's the realest thing there is. And it's happening not because unseen hands are orchestrating it, though clearly they are, but because the native peoples of all these countries are participating in it enthusiastically.
Where they feel like they're being phased out because in the near future, they will no longer be the majority in America.
The changing racial demographics in the United States. projecting that the United States will no longer be a majority white country by the mid-2040s.
The underlying fear is that white people will end up being treated like black and brown people have ultimately been treated historically. And that's just not true. That's not who we are. If we wanted revenge, we would have gotten that 100 years ago. What I want is for those white people that believe in this theory to understand that whiteness can exist without dominance in this nation.
And this article from the New Yorker addressed the rise in Latino white supremacists. White supremacy, especially aligned with MAGA, is all about whitewashing American history, erasing the contributions and stripping away the rights of people of color, deporting immigrants, legal, illegal, criminal, not criminal, anybody who doesn't fit a very specific standard of white, and really to drag this country back to a time where nobody had rights except for white men. This article actually talks about how a Mexican American got radicalized. On May 6th, a 33-year-old Mexican-American man named Mauricio Garcia shot and killed 8 people in the Outlet Mall in Allen, Texas. Then he was shot and killed by an off-duty police officer. Because of his white supremacist views, the shooter expressed in his diary online, many were shocked that he was Latino. The diary he kept in the years leading up to the shooting made it clear his growing persuasion by white power ideology. He wrote about the superiority of non-Latino white people and claimed they would lose their edge if they continued to let non-white immigrants into the country, says a Mexican-American man. At the end of the day, one of the worst things is a person that goes against their people, their community. And that's exactly what we're seeing play out now, especially with these Groypers and Nick Fuentes followers. It's really all about their need to be close to whiteness, and they're willing to sell out their own communities to do it. Seriously, having to lie about your identity and ethnicity to be part of a group that hates you is just crazy work. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting, and thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.